DRS issues. Not only did I have a power cut at 7:58, now my PC decided to die on me. We're back now, and we are ready for the final couple of runs in this qualifying session. We've got 7 minutes and something, 7 minutes and 36 left in the session. And Stephen Beacom going up to the top of the timesheets, 23.3. So he is, well, 1.5 tenths quicker than Aaron and goes up into first place, throwing a lap time in. Aaron he's now got competition at the front of this field. Just looking at some of the other drivers who are coming around the final couple of corners. F1 Mallard has invalidated on his lap, so will not be setting a valid time. Scones, however you feel the need to say it, is back in sector number 1, just coming out of it, improving. His teammate, though, improving by over a quarter of a second, so that is a huge lap time to have gained. And around the final corner, he's got a 24.0 at the moment. He's going to aim to get into the 23s, and he does so, 23.5. One of 3 drivers in the 23.5s at the moment. And he slots his way into P4 as that's phased Kristen out of the final corner. Something's happened to him there. I'm trying to get a good camera angle on it. As who will have a good angle? Not sure. He might have just crashed into the pit lane. That would be an embarrassing incident, wouldn't it? But he will peak. He will peak in P9. Will the Ferrari driver looking back now? Dubsy is heading through the first sector. We've got 6 minutes left in the session, so it's likely to only be the 2 laps left. And, well, for Dubsy, it will be his first and his second lap times in this session, as, of course, so far, he has not been able to set one. He's not the only one. Ty Clear coming in late on in this session has not had the opportunity yet, but he will try to take the opportunity, and he will try to force his way up the field, force his way into contention for those top few positions at the moment held by Stephen Beacom, Aaron, and forward journey with Michael Louis and Dobbo waiting in the wings. 23 low, I reckon, is going to be the target for this qualifying session. Of course, Aaron is on the front row with a 23.5, but any sort of improvement from anybody else means that they're going to drop down, and Stephen Beacom going in there, showing that the track evolution might be coming into play with a 23.3 and setting that pole position time so far. So there's lots of pressure now on all of these drivers to get in a good lap. Hello, Idfas Labas in the TikTok chat, by the way. And up to the line, Dubsy, 24.8. So there is time to be found. Kristen coming into the Twitch chat saying he turned for the final corner and his car span round and he hit the wall so weirdly that the tyre just came off. Casual F1 24 stuff, I think it's fair to be said. And, well, some of us, myself included, cannot wait for F1 25. The betas were released. I did not get the beta, unfortunately. I was unable to beta test that game, but maybe next year, I said, last year and the year before that. And this year, once again, 3 years in a row I've applied and not been accepted. One day I'll get there, and maybe the WHF League can hook me up at some point. Or maybe they just can't, and we're going to have to sit in wait as the normal people of the world. Sci-Fi Mega Hype heading through. He is the slowest of the lap times so far, and the non-opening of the DRS suggests that this is an out lap. Sort of, some drivers do 2 out laps just to get their feet under the door, just to get prepared for their push laps, push times, push runs. And I think that's what he's attempting to do there. Is Jamie Dwyer not improving? So I think he might be doing exactly the same thing. Ollie Bean, as he comes up to the first sector, though, has improved by almost half a second. He's improved by 0.449 of a second. And he heads out of the long stretched hairpin, the Alpine, with a lot of work to do. He won't be opening up that DRS until a little bit later in that segment. So a little bit, maybe half a tenth, maybe even up to a 10th loss for Ollie Bean. Not what he would have wanted to see, especially in this crunch time of this qualifying session, especially because this is probably going to be his last lap time of this session. And Ollie Bean at the moment, he needs to find a lot of time in this final run. He's got a 25.7 at the moment, so it's unsurprising to see an improvement. But in the second sector, backing off, and 0.085 seconds, and that's not going to help him as well, running incredibly wide. I think he might just be trying to regain all that DRS, regain all the fuel that he's used on that lap, and he's going to get ready to go once again. Ty Clear might come to a head with Ollie Bean at some point in this session. He is heading around the final couple of corners as Ollie Bean has backed out of this lap officially now, and he's heading through the final corner. So he should be in the clear, should Ty, and he heads around the final corner. Where is the Aston Martin going to be able to put himself? Is it up at the top, or is it right in the middle? It's in the middle behind his teammate, 24.697 for the Aston Martin. Dobbo is in 5th place at the moment as he comes across the first sector split time. It is an improvement. This sort of rate is promising for Dobbo, as if he can improve in the 2nd and the 3rd sectors by that margin, then he will be in contention for pole position. Yellow flags out for the Williams as Dobbo pulls over, tries to get the slipstream of either Michael Louis or Scones is how I'm going to say his name, because the debate is, well, I'm on neither side of the debate. Dobbo, big slide on the exit. He's still going to continue on with this lap. 23.5 is what he has at the moment. I don't think it's going to be an improvement. Dubsy comes into the pits. He retires from the session. I think now Dobbo has realised just how much time he lost on that last, on that little bit of a rear loss, and that is him out of the session. Stephen Beacom will not be improving, and well, 1 minute 27 left. He's not got much time to improve. Michael Louis still with a 23.5 has just started his push lap. F1 Lime, he's 1.1 seconds down, so not ideal for the Mercedes. Ty Clear, of course, was on a push lap last time out. LTJ Ellis is on a push lap. He's at the moment got a 25.0, and just behind him, well, I say just 5/10 behind is Jamie Dwyer, who's not improved on that last lap and is going to try to go again, and it's going to be not an improvement, so it's probably the end of Jamie Dwyer's session. He will peak at a 25.5. Sci-Fi Meg Hype not improving. Ollie Bean not improving as well. So I think a couple of these drivers are getting themselves prepared for one more push lap, one more time. But we're going to switch over, not to F1 Line because he wasn't improving. Where should we look? Scones improving in that first sector by just 0.013, so a minimal gain in that first sector. But if he made a mistake in sector number 2 or 3, then that is prime ample opportunity for him to gain that time back. He needs about 0.6 of a second to catch up to Beacom on that pole position at the moment, and the checkered flag will be waved midway through this lap, so this is his last opportunity to set a good lap time, and up to the second sector split time, improving by 0.07 of a second, and now heading round the final sector. It's so tricky here as his teammate Michael Louis retires from the session. Forward journey goes up to the top of the timesheet, 23.2 for the Kick Sauber, and that is a gauntlet laid down, especially with Beacom not looking to improve. Scones comes around the final couple of corners, big slide in the Latifi zone for the Williams, and now he's got one more corner, one more braking zone. Not sure if it's going to be an improvement because he did lose a little bit of time there. Not that he had much time on the board, and it is not going to be an improvement. Beacom will not be improving either. He's a quarter of a second down, nor will Aaron. Codzilla, can he do anything? He's improving by 0.3 of a second in the first 2 sectors. This could be a pole position run from Codzilla if he can hook up this final sector well enough. He needed another 10th or so. He's not quite found it. 292 is beaten out by 211. And it's the Kick Sauber who holds that pole position. F1 Mallard going up with a 23.5. He's in 7th place. F1 Lime, he's improving by half a second, but it's not going to be enough to challenge for the top positions. However, a mistake in the final sector. If he's improving, he will improve by a considerable margin. Up to the line, 23.8. So lost a bit of time, actually, in that final sector. And LTJ Ellis will finish off in this session with an 11th place. So, in the end, the field closed up. Forward Journey took that pole position back from Stephen Beacom. Codzilla in 2nd place. So Beacom not even qualifying on that front row. And he will look to come back from 3rd place to come back onto the front row as they head into the race session. But yes, Forward Journey taking that pole position. Codzilla in P2. Stephen Beacom in P3 with Aaron in P4. Michael Louis in P5. Dobbo in P6. F1 Mallard in P7. The lanky one slotting his way in 8th after being 10th for the majority of that session. And the 9th F1 Lime. And Scones rounding at the top 10. Then it's LTJ Ellis. FaZe Kristen We'll get the rest of the results in a minute of those drivers right down the bottom of the field as we get to see them. But now there we go. FaZe Kristen P12, Ty Clear P13, Dubsy P14, Jamie Dwyer 15th, Sci-Fi Mega Hype 16th, and Ollie being 17th, with Kevin Cal not having set a time. Jamie Dwyer, in fact, setting his push lap on the medium compound of tyre. Interesting decision, possibly a result of the fact that he was unable to improve in those final couple of runs. I think that is the only real explanation for it, but that is what it is. And, well, we've got a 5-minute break until until the race begins. So I'll send you to a little bit of an intermission, but we will be back in a minute or two, and we will be discussing the race at hand. Hopefully this is the right stinger. I'll see you in a second. Ladies and gentlemen, to the race day as we are getting underway here for the formation lap here in Abu Dhabi. Not the 5-minute wait that we expected, but instead a 2-minute wait, which everybody isn't particularly happy about. But it gives me the opportunity as we head around the formation lap to talk about the standings. Kevin Cal in last place on the grid is first in the standings, so that may have been a reason why he did not set a lap time. Michael Louis 5th place, 2nd place in the drivers, but a 39-point gap is huge. And then Aaron in 3rd on 78. So big gaps, and well, interesting to see as well. Stephen Beacom, who's in P3 today in qualifying, only has 6 points across this season, and he finds himself last or 20th in the drivers' standings. Of course, there will be more than 20 drivers, but that is what it is. That's just a refresher then of those standings that we've had so far, and it also gives us an ample opportunity to have a look at some of the results so far this season, and especially last time out, victory was taken by Kevin Cal ahead of Michael Louis. Those two have really been setting the pace for the rest of the field in this season so far, and in the qualifying session. They didn't quite set the field alight, but they're going to try to do so come race day, and we shall see whether they're able to do just that. It was, well, a driver's name I can't pronounce, so I'm quite glad he's not racing tonight in P3. He was in an Aston Martin. We've got F1 Mallard and Ty Clear in the Aston Martins tonight. Ty Clear not actually a Aston Martin driver. He's actually a Ferrari driver. However, he had issues with somebody else had already taken his seat, so he ended up sitting in that Aston Martin, which I'm sure he won't be disappointed about, as myself, an Aston Martin fan, would certainly not be disappointed with. The cars are all heading up to the field. The Alpine final row is settling into position. The Kick Sauber and the McLaren on that front row are ready to go. Green flags being waved by the stewards at the back of the pack. The red lights are on here in WHF. And the action's underway here in Abu Dhabi. Forward Journey gets off to a strong start around the outside line. He will take into turn 1. Beacon will try to get past Codzilla into turn number 1, and he will be successful as Aaron tries to make the move, but he drops back down. They're sliding their way through this first sector, and through goes Forward Journey, holding on to the lead of this race. Side by side from Michael Louis and Aaron as we head into the hairpin. Who can come out on top? Michael Louis sending it late. That means Aaron's going to get the exit. Is he going to get that position though? Sources would say yes as he gets that slipstream from Godzilla down the back straight. And he's going to try to make his way back past Dobbo, putting to the inside line of Aaron into the chicane. Can he make that move? No. Is it 3 wide behind? Of course it is. Fraser Christian down the inside, Mallard in the middle and Lime on the outside. Fraser Christian heads through into P8 and he's now getting through on the lanky one. Maybe we're all side by side as we head through now the second sector, and this is action to begin this race. The lanky one getting through into P7, holding onto the position ahead of Fraser Christian. His yellow flags in the background. LTJ Ellis, I believe, has gone around, and indeed he has. I believe it might have been contact even with Ollie B. Looking further up this field though, it is side by side. F1 Mallard, F1 Lime, FaZe Kristen and the lanky one making a little bit of contact, and FaZe Kristen being the one to lose out. But out of the end of this first lap is the lanky one's teammate Forward Journey, who is the leader of this race. P2 could be switching as DRS has already been lost. Godzilla down the inside of Beacom into turn 1. He makes that move stick, and he is now going to try to get back into that DRS of Forward Journey. Journey, who's not going to have the DRS to break away, but he has that momentum. LTJ Ellis already coming into the pits to presumably replace wing damage or retire from the session. Hopefully it is that wing damage excuse. Michael Louis looking to send it down the inside of Beacom, not able to do so, and he will try again down the back straight. DRS is open for the drivers for the first time in this session, and well, it's been beneficial for Michael Louis. Might be beneficial for Aaron as well, who's going to try to get past. Tucking in, F1 Lime. Can he make the move? No, he stays in, and Aaron actually does make that move on Beacom on the exit. So the qualifying pace of the V-Carb not quite matching the race pace so far, and he's going to try to get back up to speed as Dobbo gets through as well. F1 Lime and F1 Mallard still fighting away in these lower top 10 positions. Beacom fighting with Dobbo harder than he fought with all those drivers in front. He clearly thinks that this is a battle that he can sustain, and losing that DRS to the top 4, I think he's going to have to try to sustain it. Scones and FaZe Christian having a battle. FaZe Christian coming out on top. He had a superb race start, but hasn't been able to quite match it within the last few laps. The tyres that everybody's on is the medium compound with Kevin Cal, and now LTJ Ellis, the only ones on the hards, and I believe LTJ might be trying to go to the end of the race now. Ty Clear getting his way past Jamie Dwyer into P12 as we head on to lap 3 of this Grand Prix, with Forward Journey closed in by Godzilla. He did break that DRS just a few moments ago, just a couple of laps ago, but now it's been reeled right back in. The end of lap 1, they were out of that 1 second gap, but this time Godzilla right on the rear of Forward Journey, and he's going to try to make this move. DRS is going to be available for the McLaren, crucially not for the Kick Sauber. He might not have even needed that DRS as he tried to squeeze Godzilla to the inside line. But Forward Journey has lost 2 positions. It's Godzilla in P1. It's Michael Louis in P2. And Forward Journey trying to close in P3. But he's coming under pressure from Aaron in the Haas car just behind. Won't help though the Haas. If he goes round a half spin there, loses him an entire second. And now he's going to come under pressure from Steve Beacon behind him. The DRS will be open for both of these drivers, but they're going to stay in behind just for the time being. Dubsy making his way past FaZe Christian into P10. FaZe Christian's going to try to fight this one around the outside. He sweeps through, but Dubsy gets the exit, and it's still going to be side by side. Sector 3 is a very dangerous place for these sorts of shenanigans to occur. It's down the inside. Contact, and both losing their front wing, and it's going to be the first VSC at this race, the first yellow flag stint of this race, and it's just FaZe Christian and Dubsy going at it a little bit too hard, and in the end they both lose out. I said it was dangerous to fight in Sector 3. I've been proven very much right, and well, FaZe Christian has not been happy with that. Dubsy has retired from the session, and I'm glad I caught that one on stream is all I'll say, and I'll leave it there, heading further up the field to now Godzilla, who's got a 1.1 second gap to Michael Louis. However, that could be deceptive because of the virtual safety car and the deltas and them all being funny and a bit crazy. Michael Louis 1.5 behind now. Forward Journey trying to get back into that DRS of Michael Louis as Dubsy now leaves the session, and it is a full safety car that has come out as a result of that crash, I'd imagine, between FaZe Christian and Dubsy. And now the field will all close back up, with Codzilla will be leading us. Are any of these medium runners going to come into the pit? I think they're going to. I think it would make full sense for them to come in for the hards to try to finish off this race. We will see whether they do, but the likelihood is that... Oh, Codzilla stays out, Michael Louis heads in. I think there's got to be a case for everybody to come in. Michael Louis comes in, Forward Journey stays out. Not many are actually coming into the pit, which I think is a surprise, as Bradley subscribes with Prime. Thank you very much, Bradley, 042007. And, well, you're taking us closer towards that goal of 10 Prime subs. We're at 7 at the moment, so if anybody's got a spare Prime, if anybody's got a little bit of cash hanging about, that would be great if you could do that. Just any sort of support goes to help our community bring races like this to life. And, well, 10 people watching this stream at the moment. It's a very, very... this is looking pretty good for this race. We're looking pretty happy. And we're looking pretty set to have a very good race. And, well, we're one follower away, actually. Now that I'm talking about goals. One follower away from our next goal, which is 860 followers. We are on 859. So, even though the Prime is... even though the Prime does cost money, a follow is absolutely free. And so, don't even hesitate. And of course, Twitch is our main component, but we are also streaming on TikTok tonight. 364 followers on there, so if you could run those numbers up, that'd be great. Generally, TikTok it's a place where we get more new viewers. I think there's more of the returning customers on Twitch. So if you want to join us on the TikTok stream as well, if you want to give us a follow, even if you're just watching the Twitch, hop along to TikTok, give us a follow, like the stream, and then you can head back to Twitch if that tickles your fancy, or you can just stay in the TikTok for a little bit, run those numbers up, because yeah, anything will help the algorithm. Maybe if you've got 2 monitors, hold both. We'll be hoping to get underway within the next few minutes, or within the next few corners. I say next few corners. Next sector is where we're going to try to get underway once again. Well, Godzilla will lead us away. He's on the mediums. The lead runners that switched onto, presumably, the hards. Yeah, hards for Michael Louis and the lanky one. And Scones as well. FaZe Kristen came in on that lap before. And Sci-Fi Mega Hype came in on the lap before that. LTJ Ellis switched onto the mediums. Looks as though we might not be getting going. If we are, it's going to be a very late call. LTJ Ellis hasn't quite caught up to the field just yet. And yeah, we're going to be going round once more under safety car conditions. Lap 7, so lap 8 we'll be getting back underway. Yeah, the full safety car, I know it says virtual safety car, the full safety car is out on lap 7 of this race, and lap 8 will be getting underway very shortly, hopefully not under safety car conditions anymore, as everybody has caught up to the field. LTJ Ellis now finally made it through, and I feel as though if he'd have made it up a couple of seconds earlier, he would have been right up there, and the safety car would have come in, and we would have got action underway on lap 7. As it is, we're going to wait till lap 8 to get it underway. And, well, this race appears to be cooking up a very, very good one, with Godzilla leading this race. But the quickest driver probably looking like Forward Journey. Aaron as well, looking pretty quick as the safety car confirmation is going to be in on this lap. As Aaron looking pretty quick, Stephen Beacom looking pretty quick on that qualifying pace, not quite on that race pace, and Michael Louis and the lanky one, 2 quick drivers making that switch onto the hards. But it's up to Godzilla as to when we are to get underway once again, and lap 8 will be green flag running. And now it's down to Godzilla. When is he going to go? It is entirely up to the McLaren driver. As to when he goes, Forward Journey is just going to follow through and hope that it's going to be very, very soon. He's going to try and pick the points. He's going to try and pinpoint it. He's got it wrong. Godzilla's got it. Oh, so right, and it's green flag racing once again here in Abu Dhabi. Godzilla is going to lead away. He's 7 cents now already ahead of Forward Journey, as LTJ Ellis gets a time penalty around the final corner. And, well, we're back to these green flags. Those top 2, though, seem to nail that safety car restart more than anybody else. Maybe not including Dobbo, who's right on the rear of Beacom, but Beacom closing in on Aaron, as that's another retirement from this session, and the safety car's back out. LTJ Ellis and Sci-Fi Mega Hype appearing to come together around where the pit exit is. And Bernd Mailander is going to have to leave his kettle brewing, because we're back underway. Yellow flags causing a 10-second for the lanky one, by the way, who dropped down to P13. I'm not really sure what's going on with the lanky one and Ty Clear at the moment, but the fact of the matter is the safety car is back out. And LTJ Ellis and Sci-Fi Mega Hype are out. Trying to get audio balance on that. I'm hoping that's better, where you can hear me. Allegedly, of course, I don't know. Allegedly, Sci-Fi Mega Hype brake checked. I didn't see anything, so I'm not going to cast any aspersions. But that is what I pick up. Forward Journey leaves the session. Godzilla and Forward Journey's AI is pit. Whether that was his strategy or not, he has pit. And actually, those who came into the pit on the last safety car onto the hard compounder tyre could have a significant advantage here, as drivers of F1 line's been let past Jamie Dwyer. So maybe they swapped. Don't know if they realise it's safety car. Either way, interesting. Yeah, Forward Journey in the pits, Godzilla, Aaron. Most of the leading pack, Stephen Beacom, continues on that medium compounder tyre. So does F1 Lime, Jamie Dwyer and Ty Clear. But it's looking like a masterstroke from those who waited until that second safety car to switch onto the hards. Because now Scones, who came in under the first one, his hards are 4 laps old. Godzilla's just behind R0. And you can't even blame that on the fact that Scones was sort of off the pack because the lanky one and Michael Louis were in that top pack, Michael Louis especially, and they're only, what, 1, 2, 3 positions ahead, 3 drivers ahead, and Ty Clear on those mediums. He's going to be out of sync with the rest of the field. Everybody else is going to try and take those hards to the end. The exceptions as well being Beacom, Lime, and Jamie Dwyer up the top, who are on the mediums and are hoping maybe even for a third safety car, or they could be coming in this lap. just to maximise the amount of time that they do on the first tyre, which means they minimise the amount of time they do on the second set of tyres. Another lap under the safety car then is an interesting call from the race controllers. Well, we only really got one sector of racing under the last one. And it didn't look to be that bad of an incident because they cleared up pretty quickly. Big issues, by the way, for Martin Louis Gianelli, a.k.a. Forward Journey, who is not in this session. And he's going to be desperate to try and get back in before the green flag is waved and before we get back underway. But as it stands, he's not in the session, and so that could be his race almost over unless he can get back in. What is the AI? Just to check. What is the AI settings at? I will see. If it doesn't come up on here, I will get the rulebook up because I'm actually genuinely intrigued as to how much time he's going to lose. There we go. I'm going to get the rulebook up. Where's the rulebook? I like that this league has a rulebook, by the way. I know that sounds stupid, but there's a lot of leagues that do not, and it's crazy. Right. Where is it here? Doesn't appear to be in this list. So maybe it's just up to the lobby host's interpretation. Safety car is in on this lap. And so we'll be getting underway. We've got a third of the race to go now. We will have under a third of the race to go by the time we get going. Yeah, I can't see anything about it. So I guess it is up to interpretation when it's all said and done. Martin Louis Gianelli, aka Forward Journey, still not back in this session. How much of a penalty does FaZe have? We will see. 3. The lanky one has 10 for switching under safety car. Speaking of the safety car, Bernd Mailander pulls into the pit. Stephen Beacom pulls around the final corner, and he will get us underway. Big slide from F1 Lime out of the final corner. And so he will not be able to pressure Stephen Beacom as they head into turn number 1. Jamie Dwyer trying to close in on Lime. As that is Aaron losing a couple of positions. Losing a third one as well. And he drops down to P13. Not what he would have wanted to see as this pack are trying to stay within range as he goes round. He spins. And Aaron, who was in contention for a good race result, drops all the way to the rear of the field. Jamie Dwyer and Michael Louis fighting away. There's contact between the two. Michael Louis tries to swing around the outside. And he moves up into P3. There's another 3-second time penalty heading FaZe Christian's way as we head down once again to the chicane. Head down to the end of this back straight. And there could be a send here from FaZe Christian. Forward Journey retires from the session. Is that a crash? Or is that just a weird AI thing? We will never know unless he lets us know. But that's yellow flags out. He is out of this session. And I'll try and pick up some of that information. Michael Louis around the outside of Steve Beacom. Beacom trying to follow back. But F1 Lime in the meantime has taken that race lead. Beacom on the outside line. Michael Louis with the superior inside line. And he makes a move in Sector 3. Not a sort of place where many would attempt to move. But Michael Louis has attempted it. And he has been overwhelmingly successful as he now tries to close up to F1 Line for this race lead. And he feels as though he's so much faster. He's got those hards on and out of the final corner. He will come trying to get the exit, but he's going to wait to the DRS. But at the moment, sitting in P2 is not a bad place to be. Codzilla right on the rear of FaZe Christian in the meantime, but he's going to have to make his way past the Ferrari. It's not been something that's been very easy this race, especially for McLarens, but Codzilla pulling to the inside line of the hairpin. And FaZe Christian sending it. That's a stupid send. Sorry, I'm normally very good at censoring that sort of thing, saying that sort of thing. That was a stupid send. Anyway, Michael Louis making his way back into the lead, and FaZe Christian dropping to P13. He's fighting for P12 with Ollie Bean, and he actually does get back ahead. But the desperate defence there from FaZe Christian has not worked as he drops down to P12. Dobbo dropping behind F1 Mallard and Ty Clear. Somebody we haven't talked about much this race in P11 as well. 1.4 seconds off Kevin Cal, our championship leader, by quite a significant margin, as he's now down in P11. As we've got another subscriber, WHF Aero, who's at a concert tonight, which is why he's not commentating, but he's decided to take the time out of his day to come and subscribe. It's his 40th month that he's subscribed for, and that equates to, what, almost 3 years and some change? Jamie Dwyer comes into the pits, so does Stephen Beacom, and that's to get rid of those medium compound of tyres. Very, very interesting. My game is lagging. He lagged to me, so I swerved. Claims FaZe Christian. But I have a counter question. Why did you send it to the inside if your game lagged? You've picked up another 3-second time penalty anyway, so that is almost you guaranteed the last place, unless you can show the pace to get back up the field. But at the moment, 9 seconds worth of penalties is the second most. There's only 2 drivers with penalties at the moment, the other one being the lanky one up in P4. And FaZe Christian trying to close in to Ollie Bean with that DRS. The 2 Aston Martins fighting, Ty Clear and F1 Mallard. Ty Clear, of course, full-time Ferrari, but tonight he's donned the British Racing Green, the British driver, donning that British Racing Green and fighting away with F1 Mallard, trying to go around the outside. He's not able to, so he tucks back into the P7 that he stays in at the moment. And Michael Louis now building up a gap at the top of this field. This means he'll close in on Kevin Cal, which is exactly what he would have wanted to do. Jamie Dwyer and Stephen Beacom, they both came in for the hard compounded tyres. That's another 3-second time penalty for FaZe Christian as he heads around the outside of Ollie Bean. And Ollie Bean just not giving him that much fight, but FaZe Christian into the wall and into the side of Ollie Bean. And it's fair to say that the Ferrari has not had an ideal day, as that's half his front wing off. He's not going to come into the pits, though, as F1 Lime is. And he squeezes Ollie Bean. Little bit of a love tap there with the Alpine as he heads into turn number 1 now. And it's becoming a little bit difficult to fight with FaZe Christian as Ollie Bean is finding out. They're 7 seconds off of the field. Ollie Bean right on the rear. Aaron's going to try and sweep around the outside, and he's going to make that move stick. Now the next target is to get ahead of the Ferrari. Is he going to be able to do so as he heads out of the hairpin? Can he get that run? Yes, he can. He's got a supreme run out of the hairpin, and he's going to pull ahead of FaZe Christian. Christian, who I think is going to try and send it to the inside, or he's just going to tuck back in. He's going to try and send it late to the inside. Aaron giving him the space, and you really shouldn't be doing that with no front wing. I'm sorry, you really shouldn't. And Aaron with that switchback, demonstrating exactly why he shouldn't be doing that. And through goes Aaron. FaZe Christian swiping across Ollie Bean, who's just innocently trying to get past. And he actually squeezes the Alpine off of the circuit. And FaZe Christian stays in P10 with some very aggressive defending moves at the moment. Michael Louis still holding on to this race lead, by the way. And it's staying stable, 2.6 seconds, as FaZe Christian really struggling now to find the traction and find those lines that he would have wanted to take. Fastest lap of the Grand Prix goes to F1 Mallard, who sits in P4, and his teammate Ty Clear, obviously Ferrari regularly, but not tonight. He is just dropping out of that DRS, of that top 6 pack, so we're starting to spread out. This pack as well is starting to spread out, as Ollie Bean might have damage as he's dropped off from FaZe Christian quite a chunk. FaZe Christian another 3 seconds, as you can see how far he's gone off. And yeah, that is an end plate off for the Alpine after presumably that contact on that last lap with the Ferrari. And he's going to try to close back in. FaZe Christian, who's lost a lot of time on Aaron, so he won't be getting that DRS, and he's going to try and retire himself. Yep. He's tried to retire himself, and he's caused a safety car. Hey. Michael Louis dominance could, ball fans. It could. But now that gap is going to be slashed as there's another safety car out. And this is the opportunity for those who are on the hard to switch back onto the medium compound of tyre. And yeah, it's a great chance for them. Disappointing for Stephen Beacom, Jamie Dwyer and F1 Lime, who came into the pits the last lap or the last 2 laps into the pits to switch onto the hards. But this time, I'm presuming they're going to try and go again. FaZe Christian somehow still in this race, despite sending himself off of the circuits to cause that safety car in the first place. And, well, Aero coming into the pass, Mr. McGurk. That's a mega penalty. This game is bugged and my control died. I hate this game. Well, okay. I shan't comment. A drive-through penalty, though, heading Scon's way. And not what he would have wanted to see. FaZe Christian's going to get a new battery pack. So hopefully we're going to be seeing some better racecraft from the Ferrari out of the pits. And after the last safety car of this Grand Prix, there's 13 laps to go in this race then. Scons is going to have to serve a drive-through penalty. The lanky one has a 13-second penalty in P2. FaZe Christian has 15, and F1 Lime has just the 3 seconds worth of penalties. But Michael, Louis, Kevin, Cal, and Ollie Bean all coming in for those mediums. I believe FaZe Christian as well is going to do exactly the same thing. Ty Clear on a new set of hards, and Jamie Dwyer, Beecham, and Lime are all going to continue on. CM Punk versus Gunther, great match in Belfast. That means absolutely nothing to me, apart from the part where you said Belfast. I know where that is. Or Belfast. Whatever it's supposed to be. How do I pronounce it? In like an English accent. Like a basic English accent like I've got. Is it Belfast? It feels like Belfast is too northern. I don't know. But there we go, mega penalties heading FaZe Christian's way as a result of a couple of incidents that he's had. We will see. WWE live event is the answer. Okay. That means something to me. Something about John Cena. They're trying to invite him back, aren't they? John Cena and Dwayne Johnson. They're trying to invite them back, I think. If I remember right. From the very, very minimal knowledge I have of WWE. Also, isn't that an American thing? FaZe is pure cinema. He should watch his highlights. Scary to drive beside him. Well, he's had a lot of screen time this race. So I think he and the stewards will very much enjoy watching this race back. Is all I will say, and I will leave it there. Yeah, actually, I don't know whether the stewards are going to enjoy watching it back. FaZe Christian, he did say he was going to... He said he was going to get a new battery pack. Then he said he may as well retire. He's going to continue on. But he's blaming it on, number one, his game lagging, and number two, his battery pack dying. So we'll take that as it is. And we will believe him if that is indeed what he says. But that is the reason. He's redeemed. Right, Bradley. You need to stop with the money there. First a prime and now a donation of the sandwiches. Or the sandwiches. He's redeemed 69 by Heart SSR sandwiches. I think that might need updating. But he's going to say FaZe is going to have a hard race. Yeah, I agree. And from now on, I think he's going to have to take it very, very carefully. Safety car will be in this lap. This will be the final safety car of this race. The allocation is 3 in this game. Codzilla's going to lead us away. This will be the second of 3 safety cars that he's going to lead away. And the lanky one right behind has a penalty. Scons is in P4, but a drive-through penalty will cost the Williams a lot of time. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see him in at the end of this lap. We will be heading on to lap 18, which means we'll have 12 laps of racing to go, if my maths serves me correctly. Is Scon's going to dive in on this lap, or is he going to do it the next lap? No, he's going to go next lap. But Codzilla is going to go right now, and he goes back to green flag racing. Lap 18 is underway, and he's caught the lanky one off guard in P2. Drops now 8/10 behind this race leader, F1 Mallard, in P3. Scon's in P4, and Dobbo trying to close it in P5. It's another 3-second penalty as FaZe Christian goes off of the circuit. as, well, he's really not been his day. Dobbo looking to the inside, maybe, of Scones. Ty Clear looking to the inside of Aaron, making his way through P7 is where he goes up to Michael Louis, trying to get past Dobbo once again. We're going to watch on board with the Williams as he doesn't get that run out of the exit. See who does, though. Dobbo, he's going to get past Scones. Can Michael Louis make it 2 drivers past the Williams in the same straight? He's going to send it late, and he's going to send it successfully past his teammate into P number 5. And he is back through, and Ty Clear, 3-second time penalty, heading the Aston Martin's way. Not what he would have wanted to see, especially at this point in the race, especially as he's trying to pressure ahead. He's going to have to sit behind now, but no, he sends it to the inside of Scones, the man with the drive-through penalty, losing all this track position, and you think that the end of this lap is when he's going to come in, because he's only going to lose more time when everybody else is fighting him. Ollie Bean has left the session, and that will be the opportunity for FaZe Christian to get through pretty nice and simply with him AI. Steve Beecham and F1 Lime, swapping F1 Lime, staying ahead of Jamie Dwyer for the time being. Jamie Dwyer, who could fall into the grasp of FaZe Christian. And as we head out of the final corner lap, 19 will begin. Ollie Bean is pretty much out of the session now. Scones has gone in to serve that drive-through penalty, and it's the 2 Ferraris that are closer together. FaZe Christian looking around the outside line. He's got no front wing end plate, so he's going to have to be very careful. He's going to have to think about when he makes this move. Is it going to be the outside line? No, it's not. It's not. He's going to tuck back in, and he's going to stay in behind. But it's a wide exit from Jamie Dwyer. FaZe Christian tries to force his way through. He can't quite do it. And off the circuit goes Dwyer. Off the circuit goes Christian. And the 2 Ferraris coming together. And that is not what you would have wanted to see if you're a Ferrari fan tonight. Beecham ahead of Lime, but Christian and Dwyer coming together, a little heat of the moment from these 2. And yes, I did mean to say moment twice. F1 Lime now trying to go around the outside of Beecham. This fight will wage on as Kevin Cal makes his way past Aaron, and the championship leader is activated in this race. We've still got more fighting going on. Jamie Dwyer getting his way back past Christian. Beecham and Lime getting through. Lime is behind Beecham, and it's now 2.3 seconds. The gap between Beecham and Aaron, but a huge moment off the circuit. And F1 Lime heads back through on Beecham. Ty Clear is ahead of Dobbo now. He's up into P5, but remember that penalty could cost him at the end of this race. Lap 20 is Michael Louis, sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, and his new tyres, he's hoping, are going to drag him up into P1, where he was when the safety car came out. But a switch of tyres means that he is going to go back through. These 2 Ferraris continuing to fight. And FaZe Christian maybe looking for the inside line on Jamie Dwyer. He's going to have to be very careful with no front wing end plates, as he is going to really struggle with that turning point. And FaZe Christian looking to the outside, to the inside, to the outside again, and just staying in behind. And sending it to the inside once again when he's not invited. And Jamie Dwyer just slamming the door. F1 Mallard ahead of the lanky one into P2, and he's up and chasing now Codzilla in P1. He's got a 7/10 gap between the top 2, and he's going to try to close that in now. The lanky one of Michael Louis right on the rear of this battle, and it's going to get very feisty as we head now to the final few laps of this Grand Prix. Codzilla is able to hold on to it for the time being. How long is he going to be able to hold on to it? We shall wait and see. Ollie Bean he's not back in the session. This AI level must be pretty high, because he's managed to overtake Stephen Beecham and gap Dwyer and Christian. I know Dwyer and Christian did have a little bit of a moment, and it looks like they're continuing to fight for that P12. But, well, that's another bit of end plate flying off from somebody. Dwyer, I think it is. And, well, I think I shall switch away from this battle. I think that's the correct thing to do. And we will switch back up to the battle at the top with Codzilla leading with Mallard in P2. Now, Dwyer's lost that DRS to Christian. He's got a 3-second time penalty. Don't forget as well. Oh, Christian's got another one. Don't forget as well that FaZe Christian has about 15 seconds worth, and so he will drop behind Aaron, picking up a 3-second time penalty. His yellow flag's out as Aaron not only had a spin, but also somehow picked up a 3-second time penalty. Maybe he span his way off of the circuit, but he drops now into P11. Stephen Beecham and Ollie Bean fighting away for P9 and P10. Kevin Callan Dobbo fighting for P6 and P7. But F1 Mallard fighting with Godzilla for the lead of this race. And he's made his way through. The Aston Martin is in P1. And that could be a crucial move for the lead of this race. That could be a crucial move for the victory in this race. The lanky one of Michael Louis fighting away. The lanky one losing another position. If Louis can hold on to this one, and indeed he can, his next position, his next attempt, his next target will be Godzilla. And he's got 5/10 to bridge, as that's a late send from Ty Clear on the lanky one. Doesn't need to make this move unless he feels as though he can make a move for that podium. And at the moment, he's doing pretty well to stay in with that fight. Dobbo's dropped out of DRS, so has Kevin Cal. Our championship leader will not be fighting for a podium today. Despite fighting for a podium for so many times this season, he stays in behind. We are on lap 22 of this race, and it is most certainly not over yet. Yellow flags out, as that is FaZe Christian going round once again, and going round once again facing the wrong way. Not been his day in any way, shape or form, and he's done well to continue on to lap 22 so far, and I think he's going to try now to end off this race, because absolutely why not? Aaron comes into the pits. He is going to put on an end plate, or, well, a new front wing, but an end plate will come with it, as Godzilla switches back into the lead of the race with F1 Mallard. Michael Louis to look into the inside line. Can he make this move? It's going to be a send, and it's a send that's successful. He's moved up. Ty Clear looking for a move on the lanky one as well. He's been unable to make that move, and this invites Kevin Cal back into it. 6/10 behind. Ollie Bean finally rejoins the session, and Ty Clear right on the rear of the lanky one. Can he make this move? Is it going to be an outside line switch? Indeed it is, but he's unable to, and he's just going to sit just behind, and he's going to try and get that grip on the exit. He cannot quite, and well, he just stays in behind. Yellow flags once again as FaZe Christian struggling for traction, and I think he is going to be lapped within the next couple of laps. Interesting stuff for this race. Interesting developments. So we've got on lap 23 now another safety car, as that's FaZe Christian trying to cause one on purpose, I think. Either that or he's just slammed into the wall. But he stayed static on that track map for a very, very long time. Very, very long time. And this offers an opportunity for F1 Lime to come into the pits to switch onto a set of the medium compounder tyres. He's the only one that comes in. Everybody else stays out. It's been an interesting one, as I thought there was only an allocation of 3 safety cars. I'm wrong in that. There's 4 in this race so far. Ollie Bean 3 second. Scones in the pits. Aaron makes his way past. We're in for an interesting final few laps of this Grand Prix, as Aaron picks up a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. The Haas has not had the luck that he would have wanted to today. And I think it's fair to say, despite that pace, he is now down the bottom of the field, not through particularly any pace of his own, and any fault of his own, although, having said that, drive-through's his fault. Contact could have been his fault. But he'll catch up to P11. Godzilla and F1 Mallard coming into the pits. They are going for different strategies to Michael Louis, who continues on. And, well, the call for Michael Louis' dominance could just continue. He will be in the lead of this race, but he will not be on superior tyres. Kevin Cal decides to go along as well. They both decided to stay out on their 8-lap-old medium compounder tyres. Steve Beacom on the hards. He's going to stay out. F1 Mallard has pitted onto a set of the mediums. Interesting call. And Ollie Bean's pitted onto a set of used hards. Really? Yep. No, he has. So I think maybe he's going to come in next lap and switch. Either that or it's a very bold call. I know the softs do get cooked, so I wouldn't be surprised if that is, in fact, the strategy call. Aaron making his way past F1 Lime. Lots of drivers on a brand new set of the soft compounder tyre, and we're set for a very interesting end to this Grand Prix. It's been a dramatic one. I think it's fair to say 4 safety cars, 1 virtual safety car. That speaks for itself, I think. And we are in for an interesting final few laps of this race. with Michael Louis, Kevin Cal and Stephen Beacom continuing on their worn sets of tyres. Stephen Beacom especially has a worn set. He's got 11 lap old hards, and he's going for that track position as opposed to that fresher set of tyres. Is FaZe Christian still without a front wing? Yes. What is he doing? Look, I defended you after the first incident. I don't think there's much defence left for FaZe Christian. Unless Ferrari have run out of front wings. There is absolutely no reason why he's still out on the circuits after all of those incidents today. Hang on. What? What's your front wing doing, mate? Have you got one or not? Has he got... No, he definitely hasn't. What? Don't know if you saw down that main straight. That's crazy. F124, everybody. F124. What a game. Everybody is closed up to the back of the pack. FaZe Christian needs to get out of the way of everybody. But I think we're going to be in on this lap. And we are going to be in for a very, very intriguing last 4 laps. There we go. Safety car is in this lap. Last 4, 5 laps of this Grand Prix. Something around that ballpark. Michael Louis, Kevin Cal and Stephen Beacom, just to remind you, have all stayed out. They've all stayed out under that final safety car. And surely it's the final safety car. Christian is claiming that he does have a front wing. But sources would say no. I'm not sure what he's doing now. But anyway. The point is not that. The point is that we're looking back up at the top of the field. And we're looking back up at Michael Louis, who's going to set us off for this safety car restart. When is the Williams going to decide to go? He's got a bunch of baying soft runners behind. Stephen Beacom is going to be the first one there, going to try to overtake. And Michael Louis sets us off for the final time here on lap 26 of this Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Kevin Cal and Stephen Beacom are going to try and hold on to 2 and 3 with Codzilla in 4th. We've got yellow flags out. Stephen Beacom runs wide. Through goes Codzilla. And he is up into P3. F1 Mallard, the next driver, who's going to try and get past Beacom. Can he get through as they head down the hill towards the hairpin? He's going to try to. Who's going to get through? Nobody on this occasion, but there is a fight between the lanky one and Ty Clear. Little bit of end plate damage for the lanky one. And, well, that's not going to be what the Kicksabber would have wanted, especially with that penalty going to be heading his way towards the end of this race. F1 Mallard has, well, he's made his way past Stephen Beacom. He's up into 4th. Codzilla's next target is Kevin Cal. Stephen Beacom giving Dobbo a little bit more of a fight. Down the inside he goes. It's Ty Clear now who's going to try and go around the outside. As, well, this was to be expected. Stephen Beacom on 11-lap old hard compound tyres has been absolutely swarmed on the safety car restart. Drops down from 3rd to 8th. As, well, everybody's so close together. Big slide from Codzilla as he went for a move on Kevin Cal. He's going to try and close in now on these top 2 who are on worn sets of the medium compound tyre. The McLaren is looking the best place to take victory today, but he's going to have to make those opportunities for himself. He's going to have to make just these last couple of sectors look very clean, and then he's going to try and make this move out of the final corner, you'd think. And into lap 27, with that DRS available, he might try and work together with Kevin Cal to get past Michael Louis. Kevin Cal, by the way, who's come back from absolutely nowhere under this final safety car to be in the battle for the lead of this race. Codzilla on a new set of soft compound tyres is going to try and make them work, and he's going to go to the outside line of Kevin Cal as they head down to the hairpin. Kevin defending the middle line. Codzilla trying to take the long way around, and he's not going to be able to do it on this occasion. Kevin defending perfectly, and they're going to work together now with the DRS open for the first time after this safety car to try and get past Michael Louis. One pulls to the inside, one pulls to the outside. F1 Mallard is going to try to make his way through as well. Codzilla's in the lead. Kevin Cal's in P2. F1 Mallard makes his way into P3, and Dobbo and the Lanky one are battling for P5 as Michael Louis drops to P4. It's going to be a switch between the drivers behind with Ty Clear in P5 now. Getting through on Dobbo and the Lanky one who were fighting. Dobbo up into P6. The Lanky one down in P7. And, well, this could be a very, very intriguing race now with Codzilla having that advantage. Kevin Cal having that DRS and the old medium compounder tyre. F1 Mallard on a brand new set of the medium compounder tyre, so I think he's going to have the advantage on that last lap. These softs fall off so quickly as FaZe Christian retires on track and just puts the cherry on the top of what has been a weekend in the life of FaZe Christian. And I would be surprised if we see him back in Tier 2 next week. Codzilla is going to continue to lead this race. And Kevin Cal 9 tenths behind now. And this is a great opportunity for the McLaren to go on and break that DRS. However, to double dose of DRS means that he can also close back in. Can Kevin Cal? He's going to open it up now. F1 Mallard is also going to open up just behind. They're going to be very, very close. Mallard pulls to the inside line, and he's going to get through. Ty Clear gets through as well on Michael Louis, but Louis is going to fight him back a little bit harder. He's going to be the inside line. He's going to try and squeeze Ty wide. Can Ty make his way through? He is going to try to, but he's not going to have enough grip, or even on those soft compounder tyres, to make his way back past Louis, and he stays in behind, making and shaping that move for the long hairpin, and making that move finally up into P number 4. These top 6 still within DRS range of each other. F1 line 2.2 seconds off. Don't forget as well that there's penalties heading Ty Clear and the Lanky one's way. 6 for Ty Clear, 3 for the Lanky one. And so these battles are for pride more than for glory for these two drivers, unless any mistakes are made. Kevin Cal also now dropping off the DRS of F1 Mallard, as he did on the last lap on Codzilla, as we head around to the final lap of this Grand Prix, and it is yet to be decided. It's going to be one of these top 2 with Kevin Cal fading away, and he might be even out of the DRS by the DRS zone. It's going to be these top 2 who continue on and who are going to battle for the lead of this race. It's 2 different strategies taken, as F1 Mallard has gone for the mediums after that safety car. Codzilla gone for the softs. Have those Red Bull tyre compound held up enough, or have those yellow medium compound tyres got enough to fight through? The DRS is available for F1 Mallard. He's only going to get 1 dose of it. It's Codzilla's turn as the other Aston Martin, Ty Clear, moves up into P3 ahead of Kevin Cal. That fight is going to continue on with Kevin Cal and Michael Louis penaltyless. So that is likely to be your 3 and 4. But in which order? We will find out. And in which order will the top 2 be? I think it's going to be F1 Mallard ahead of Codzilla. He looks to be holding on to this one. Who's going to hold on to P3, though? This is P3 after penalties are applied. And Kevin Cal just sending it down the inside, and he gets through on Michael Louis, just sealing that position. Final few corners. No real overtaking zones to go. It's going to be very, very interesting. If anyone does make a send, F1 Line makes a send on Dobbo. And Dobbo actually drops down to P9, so the pace for him, it's unfortunate today that he's dropped all the way down to P9. F1 Mallard is around the final corner, and he seals victory here in Abu Dhabi. Codzilla in P2. Ty Clear making it a 1-3 for Aston Martin on track, but he drops down to P6 with Kevin Cal taking 3rd. Michael Louis in P4, the Lanky one P5. And after penalties, Dobbo actually reclaims P6 with Stephen Beacon P7 after an odd strategy call. Not ruined his pace, but he didn't exploit it to his full potential. Ty Clear in P8 in the end. F1 Lyman P9. And then P10 was Scones, with 11th being Ollie Bean, who had connection issues, and 12th being Aaron, who had skill issues. But it's F1 Mallard who took the victory here today. What a win then from F1 Mallard. They went for 2 different strategies, those 2 at the end, and it was the Aston Martin that came out on top. I said that the mediums were likely to be the ones that would hold on to the end of the race. I was right. as those softs just didn't quite have enough. That was a very, very interesting race. Just seen a massive message come in from the man who made it a significantly interesting race, Christian Taylor. But the end of the race has occurred. Just to run you through the final grid order, if I can. F1 Mallard, Codzilla, Kevin Cal is our podium today. Michael Louis, the lanky one, Dobbo, 4, 5 and 6. Then it's Stephen Beacon, P7, Ty Clear, P8, F1 Line, P9, and Scones rounding out the top 10, with Ollie Bean and Aaron, the final two finishers. Then FaZe Christian, Jamie Dwyer, Forward Journey, LTJ Ellis, Sci-Fi Mega Hype, and Dubsy are retirees. But, well, it's my debut race here in WHF. We've had some action happening tonight. It's certainly been interesting, I think that's fair to say. And, well, until next time, it is goodbye. Ladies and gents, we shall have interviews. We will see which drivers are up for interviews today. But firstly, I would quite like to stick my headphones on. So I can actually hear the drivers. I'm not sure where they're going to join. Oh, I know where they're going to join. No, I don't. What? What's going on? What's the clack? We shall see. We'll get F1 Lime in. He was the one asking for an interview, so we'll get him straight in. Oh, no, we won't, because I can't drag him in. Right. Hello. Can you hear me? Wonderful. Wonderful. I'm just going to try and get the stream up because for some reason the stream can't hear you, so I'll try and sort that out. But while I do that, talk me through your race today.
Well, last time out in Kota 2 weeks ago wasn't the best for me. I didn't burn the RS on my quali lap, so I finished low down the order. And then today I wanted to come back swinging, and I came back swinging. I was really happy with my result in quali P9. I botched it in the last few corners. I was half a second up. I lost 2/10, but that's neither here nor there. Still qualified P9 for me. Race strategy was a bit weird for me. During the first two safety cars, I was like, I'm going to stick it out and see how long these mediums can last. Stuck it out, had a bit of a scrapper for the win, didn't really do anything, so I pitted. And then the third safety car came out, so I was hitting myself. I was like, oh, I could have stayed out a little bit longer. Who knows where I would have been. So I pitted on hards, made a little bit of ground, and then fourth one came out, pitted onto the softs as everyone else did, and finished P7, which I'm gonna dispute because I had the pit lane glitch where it gives you a penalty just touching the white line. So I've got that clip, so I'm going to give that. But that was a really good result for me from last time out, where me and Sci-Fi collided. But yeah, that was a really good race. I love that. Probably the best one I've had so far.
Best one in
How
terms of
was it?
general pace, or just best one in terms of wheel to in terms of the wheel to wheel stuff?
Both, both. I felt really confident with the setup, with the car. Wheel to wheel was lovely. As you probably saw, me, Michael Lewis, Stephen Beecham, scrapping. I loved it. It was the best and cleanest race I've actually had in a while. While Christian wasn't being a terrorist at the back, but yeah, you count him out for a bit. But that was a really good race. How was it? How was it from your perspective though? Because I don't know how it's like for you guys. Well, I do. I was a commentator, but how was it for you guys? For you up there?
I mean, it looked pretty good down from wherever the comms box is at the Yas Marina circuit. Not sure where, but it was pretty chaotic. I think the safety car periods weren't particularly fun, but in the end, all that waiting made for a much more exciting race. I think
Yeah,
is the case,
yeah.
and of course
I'm kicking myself now a little bit because I don't know if you saw at the beginning of the stints, I was right behind the winner, so I was right behind Mallard. I was faster than him, but I just couldn't pass him. So if I did what Mallard did, who knows where I would have been. But I'm kicking myself on that bit a little bit. But I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. Wow.
well, yeah, I know the strategy was an interesting one today. I think that's fair to say. Was there
Yeah.
was there any consideration of you doing a different strategy? Was there any consideration of you going for, I don't know,
Yes.
under one of the
I
earlier
don't.
ones?
Yeah. I don't know if you saw. I think during the first like safety cars, everyone else kind of went in before me, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna follow them in. And then literally just like got under the line, I was like, no, I'm going out. I'm staying out. Um. But if I would have gone on the hards to begin with, or not to begin with, obviously doing the first safety car or second one. Who knows? I don't know. But when I first saw Michael Louis in the pits, I was like, is that a good call? Is that not a good call? Looked at my tyres, I was like, they're still like 5%. I'm fine. It comes out on like the second safety car where I was in P2 and then P1. Look at my tyres, I'm like, oh, they're now 25%. I'm a bit fucked. Um, so then I was like, oh, I'm going to pit dead last. I was like, oh no, I need a safety car. Then like just like onto the straight safety car came out. But I could have got a different strategy. Did I? I should have. I much should have during the safety cars, but I really just focused on getting a lot of points when I missed out in Kota from that 20-second time penalty. Because of a silly little collision with my teammate. But I think I proved a point today, so I'm happy with that.
And where are you looking for the next race? Are you looking to push up? Are you looking maybe to continue the momentum that obviously you're starting to try and build up now, or is it just a case of taking it as it goes?
I'm when I saw I this is my third race in tier two, and I've been taking it as it goes. Oh no, sorry, it's my second race, I think. Yes, it is second race. But taking it as it goes and been enjoying it along the way. Austria's next up. A good track. Track limits are a bit iffy, but I'm quite good at Austria. So we will see what comes. I hope I can keep pushing up and obviously make the right strategy calls. Um, because I think strategy was really where the race was won today. The race wasn't won anywhere else. But strategy. So if I can make the right strategy calls, I think I probably can get a podium in the next few races. I'm hopeful for that.
There we go. Fighting talk. I'll let you go now, but
Thank you, mate. Enjoy. Thank you.
enjoy. Not sure whether we got any other interviews coming in. I will just quickly join the different VC because they all seem to be confused by the VC that I joined. I'll give it a couple of minutes. If anybody joins, I'll talk to them. If not, I won't. But yeah, what a dramatic race that ended up being tonight. A little bit of carnage. More safety cars than I thought were possible. And in the end, pretty decent result. I enjoy a last lap scrap. And I think that may well be it for the stream. We got our word from Lime, who finished in the mid-pack. We won't get anything from the drivers up the top. And I will now kill the stream dead. But thank you very much for watching. And now, I will see you again next time. Goodbye.